how do you gain the intel from these these officials at the agency and DEA and other agencies? Do you just have a wide network? Do they reach out to you? Do you reach out to them? Maybe if you could touch on that.
Yeah, definitely. So with this individual, I actually first made a connection with them, I would say about a decade ago, when I worked for a cannabis website that was ran by Village Voice Media, which runs a bunch of other mainstream outlets like San Francisco Chronicle. For a while, they ran a cannabis news website that I worked for, that I wrote for as a freelance writer. And in that, I made a connection with an individual who, I don't want to give away too much information, but he did not work for the DEA, he worked for some other state agency. And then I, had a couple connection with that. I got some stories from that. And then it was years later, after I, actually earlier this year, that he recontacted me, essentially was like, hey, do you remember me? And then had this information. And I was like, okay, well, I was a little bit hesitant. I actually met with the individual online Zoom. I actually had them through a Snapchat conversation show me their ID, their DEA credentials. I verified that the name was the same. And then I verified that it was the same person I spoke with years ago. And then that's when I ended up publishing the story. I felt that I had enough information to do so. And then that individual over the following months has given me, kind of bits and pieces of information. The most recent one, obviously, a few days ago, when he said that they had already analyzed tens of thousands of comments, which I thought was an interesting thing and really exemplifies that they are on track to get this done pretty soon, and that they're not slow walking it. And so,
so for record amount of comments too.
Yeah, exactly. So for this particular source, it was a long time source, and I think that it kind of just comes around and play and is part of just me being in this sector for so long. And like I said, not only did I have the joint blog, the Marijuana Herald, but there's a lot of different sites that I've written for throughout the years, and that has really allowed me to build up kind of connections and stuff that some of them I don't have to hide behind it, and they don't have to say they're anonymous. There are plenty of sources that I can quote directly. Awesome. But in this particular instance, I don't. There's obviously reasoning why they want to remain anonymous. But I think that they are pro-cannabis and they want the information to get out there. And I think they came to me specifically because of that long-term connection, because we had a positive working relationship before. And so that's why.